Okay, so we got to have a talk about Path to Exile 2, and we got to have a talk about the community, and we got to have a talk about a lot of the new players that are coming in here that have never played Path to Exile or Path to Exile 2. And we've got a shitstorm to get into. And I was going to wait before I did my review of this game until we reached the end game. But after the nerf yesterday, it's obvious that I'm never going to reach the end game in an ARPG, so let's dive into it. Come on, you piece of junk. It's Hawg, baby. How about y'all? You got Hawg. Thanks for stopping by. Look, I'm pissed this morning. Okay, my voice hurts. I've been playing this game since launch, nonstop. We did a subathon, y'all. Thank you. The subathon was a great success. Thank you for that, by the way. On Saturday, we're gonna do. We hit the goal, so I have to be made up by Miss Hawg and makeup and ladies stuff, and then we got to cosplay as Little Debbie. So that'll happen Saturday. Either way, obviously I'm pretty heated about the patch last night. Obviously, I know this is early access. Just to preface all of this before I get all this shit in the comments. Yes, I know it's early access. Yes, I know they're gonna nerf shit. I don't need y'all to tell me that shit. I've been playing video games since I was 5 years old. So literally like 32 years. So please don't come at me with that shit. I know all about ARPGs. I'm an OG Diablo player. I've been playing ARPGs for 20 years. Now, that all being said, I also don't need players who think magic items on the ground are badass and are good drops to tell me about the game. I don't need that. Thank you. Now, what I'm seeing is the game's fucking impossible. Okay? Let me back on that a little bit. Killing the mobs and stuff is fine. The bosses, if you don't like Souls games, Elden Ring, Monster Hunter, any of that bullshit to where you have to time your shit by a dodge roll, you're not going to advance. This is literally my worst nightmare. I hate Elden Ring. I hate Dark Souls. I hate all that shit. They almost feels like bait and switch a little bit. They didn't tell us about that part, which looking back on it now, I should have seen it. Like dodge roll and active block. Yeah, they're going to ruin the game. From my take, this is the worst thing that could happen to the game. I hate Elden Ring games. I hate Dark Souls games because as you age, your reaction time is going to go down. If you enjoy the devil's lettuce or anything like that, your reaction time is going to go down. I didn't play this game to dodge roll everywhere. After listening to Crip talk about his in-game experience, I don't want to dodge roll around. All of these players right now that are in Act 1, Act 2, that are having the time of their life with no loot drops, no currency drops, no nothing, that are playing the game like Last Epoch, or not Last Epoch, Elden Ring. If you're playing the game like Elden Ring, that's great, but you're going to get one playthrough out of this. This is not Elden Ring. This is not Dark Souls. This is an ARPG. And so now that I bring that up, a lot of people like to argue with me and say, well, ARPG is a vast, broad definition. Is it really an ARPG? What's your definition of ARPG? Why do you say it's an ARPG? Because motherfucking Jonathan said it's an ARPG. That's why it's an ARPG. So, no. The game needs loot. Even after this little patch they did, I don't know if it's rarities bugged or what the deal is, but I still ain't getting jack shit. And just for a little TSA or PSA or whatever the fuck public announcement for those that don't know, blue items have always been dog shit. Okay? And I actually had someone try to argue with me about a very niche, very weird fucking Diablo 2 Monarch blue shield that literally nobody ever used except for a real niche thing. Oh, that was the best game. Blues are dog shit. We have been conditioned for 20 plus years to not pick up blues. And now they want you to pick up blues. So, on top of that, we've been conditioned that town is lava. How many of here follow Rax? How many of us have watched Rax for a while? How many times have we heard Rax say, town is lava? And so now, instead of going out there and getting the drops that you want to get, every time you level up, you got to go back to town. It is literally, it's not the evolution of ARPGs, it's the de-evolution of ARPGs. We are going backwards. We are focused so good in on the graphics, on the playability, that's all great. The maps are great. All of that's great. Feels good. The sound effects are good. The visualizations are good. But I'm the kind of guy where I could play a stick figure game as long as it's fun. And when you have an Act 1 boss that is so goddamn hard, and I know, look, stop. If y'all don't have problems with the Act 1 boss, that's fine. If you don't have problems with Act 2 boss, that's fine. If you don't have problems with Act 3 boss, that's fine. But lots and lots and lots of people do. I am the definition of a shitty, worst, pile of garbage, goddamn casual scrub fucking gamer that exists. I was the worst Path to Exile 1 player, but you know what? It was fun. And what's confusing to me is now, all of a sudden, all of these people that were too scared to go play Path to Exile 1 because it didn't respect your time, it needed a PhD, it was hard to get things going, it was very difficult. Now, those same people, when you bring up anything that's wrong with the game and you'd like to see change so we can have a successful, badass fucking game like they promised us, now all those same people are saying, you suck, get good, go back to Path to Exile 1, this game wasn't made for you. Imagine that shit. Imagine during Diablo 4, if we looked at all those people and said, go back to Diablo 3, you bitch, this game wasn't made for you. The same people that played Diablo 4 and got loot and got run around and they're bitching, they were bitching too, just like with your boy Hawg here, about how the loot sucked, itemization sucked, all this sucked, how they're going to keep you in the game. These are the same guys right now that are coming over here, worshiping the game, saying this is the greatest game ever made, don't change a thing. Kripparrian comes out and talks about Ruthless, which I said from the very beginning, I agreed with him. I said it before we even saw his video. This is Ruthless. Everybody hated Ruthless. Y'all don't even know. If you didn't play Path to Exile, Ruthless was a game mode. It was Chris Wilson's like brainchild just to make it so that we hated our fucking lives. So that they didn't respect your time even more than it is now. And so what did they do? Instead of making the most epic game ever, they made Ruthless 2.0 and they disguised it and added a dodge roll and a block. And they made everybody think it was going to be badass. That's why you're seeing all the Path to Exile 1 players unhappy. Because we have been playing a good ARPG. That's why we've been talking shit about Diablo 4, guys. Since I've been over there, it's a rolling joke over there. So here's what I ask. Instead of shitting on us, why don't you let us provide the feedback that we paid the goddamn money to do? Because here's the funny thing. Before Tencent bought the fucking company, GGG was 100% financed on the backs of the players. So coming over here to this damn community and telling the players that finance the game, which I'm not one of those. I was in here after Tencent bought it, okay? But to tell all the guys that are pissed to go get fucked and go play another game, that ain't gonna fly. Because they literally financed the fucking company to where it is now. If it was Blizzard, that might be okay thing to say because it's a publicly traded company, but this is a little bit different. That's why people are fucking pissed. I'm pissed because I've just been gatekept out of my game. I finally get the shit rolling again. I finally feel good about it, and then they nerf it into oblivion again. And obviously that's a fucking null point. It's early access or whatever, but it just sets the stage for what's to come, that they don't want you to have that kind of power fantasy. And that's the whole thing in an ARPG. Now let's get into the real things about what's going to happen if they don't change it. Now, for those that like the state of the game, that's fine. You can enjoy the state of the game, but you're not going to, I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to continue to come back for seasons. This is a live service game. And Jonathan's big thing he always talked about was getting new players and being fair to the new players. There should be zero reason, okay? And I don't care if you like Elden Ring. I don't care if you like Dark Souls. I don't care any about that. In an ARPG, there is no reason that Act 1, the very starting act, is that difficult. There is zero reason. There is zero reason that the game should not respect my time. And that's what's really blowing my mind is all the Diablo players, all the Last Epoch players, everybody else that was too scared to come play this game because it didn't respect your time, are now saying don't change the game because it's perfect. The slow combat is great. It doesn't respect your time even more than PoE 1 does. It's very frustrating to see when we try to give feedback that the players that are playing fucking Elden Ring don't want it to change. How about this? If you like playing Elden Ring, go play Elden Ring. There's a reason that No Rest for the Wicked is not burning up the charts right now, baby. Because nobody wants to play that shit. It might be fun to play through it one time, but that's not what Path to Exile 2 is supposed to be. This is a live service action RPG, which means you need to have power fantasy, which means you need to have items that drop, which means you need to have badass shit that you can do. And every time we find something badass to do so we feel a tiny bit of power, fuck PoE 1, so it feels like D4. You ready for some newsflash? I had more fun in the D4 campaign than I'm having in this fucking game right now. And you can comment, get good, all you want to in the bottom. That's fine. I know I suck. But I'm fucking pissed that I am gate-kept out of my game. And most of my stream community is fucking pissed about it too. I've already had a bunch of people uninstall. And you can shit on all of us and say, oh, the fucking Path to Exile 1 guys that want one-button builds. You want easy shit? Let me tell your ass something. I league started a Scion. Every league, a Scion. Don't talk to me about you just wanted easy one button fucking push builds. Bullshit. There ain't nothing easy about that shit over there. You know what I don't want? I don't want to have to fucking have my timing down to 0.00000000001 millisecond reaction time so that I don't get one shot by an Act 1 boss. You know what it feels like when you've got this game all hyped up and your old lady's fucking hyped up because she plays PoE, even though she's never played a game before. She loves PoE and she's so fucking excited to play PoE 2, and she can't even get into the goddamn town because they made the shit so fucking hard. They've literally gate-kept everybody out of there while advertising this was going to be the greatest game and going to be fun for everybody, and then clipping everybody's fucking nuts off. I'm pissed. Yeah, the game plays good. Yeah, the game's beautiful. Yeah, the control feels good and all that shit that doesn't fucking matter in the long run if there's no fun to be had in the game. Hot take. You ready? Go ahead and hit unsubscribe if you don't fucking like it, but I'm pissed. I want the game fixed. I want the game fun. There is absolutely, in my opinion, nothing fun about dying 2,700 times trying to learn a telegraphed attack of a fucking boss in Act 1 that doesn't need to be that fucking hard. There is absolutely no reason why you should clip our fucking nuts off, not once, not twice, but 3 times, not give us a fucking skill tree respec, and not give us some way to fucking do that. This is early access. Why do I have to scrounge around and fucking get my nuts clipped off every 5 minutes every time I find something fun about the game? No, what they want you to do is walk around slow as motherfucking molasses. Yeah! Yeah! That's what they want you to do. And is it surprising that a bunch of people that played a generator spender game love coming over here and playing this because they don't know what power fantasy is and they don't want the game to change? Of course not. Of course. We have to be very careful because if they don't change the game, even though y'all don't want it to change, if they don't change the game slightly and make it a little bit easier and make it a little bit faster, then it's not going to survive. And before you go in the comments and say, that's not true, do some research, do some history on PoE 1. They had the game this hard, PoE 1 alpha and beta. The game was this hard and people didn't play it. And they were forced to turn the difficulty down. And then guess what happened? Hey, everybody played it. Why would you argue that it is good for a game to lock people out in Act 1? You need to let people get better at the game. And then when you get to the end game and have Crip say, everything is one shot, Criparian. Okay, we're not talking about Hawg. We're talking about Crip motherfucking Arian said that the game was too hard, that the game was ruthless, and that you got one shot in the end game. That's not an ARPG, guys. We're not playing fucking Elden Ring. You are supposed to kill. In Diablo 4, the guys that played Diablo 4 that are saying don't change the game, did you kill? You killed. That wasn't what killed the game for y'all. The game, Diablo 4, was boring because the devs are incompetent, not because of the game design, not because of blasting everything, not because the loot dropped, okay? So now that you're in here in PoE 2, I'll tell you, go play PoE 1, because the reason that you didn't play PoE 1 is because you were scared of the skill tree and you were scared of the socket system. Well, guess what? That's the band-aid's ripped off. Now, all you have to worry about in PoE 2 is links and colors. You can level up skill gems by experience. So if you don't have any fucking power and you need to farm, you can actually gain power by experience instead of the skill gems being locked to the zone that they drop. So if you're stuck on zone 5, you're never going to get past zone 5. You're never going to get a skill gem 6 from a zone 5. We could sit here all day and bitch, but I'm going to bring this to an end. And this is my review of it. And then maybe one day I'll get to the end game, but I don't even fucking know. And then so go ahead and cue the comments up for Hawg sucks, get good, go play Path Exile 1, pussy, you're a bitch. This game's good for me. I'm in Act 1 at level 10 and I don't have any problems finding loot. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, you just suck. You've never played ARPGs before. Oh, have you tried tactics? Have you tried hiding behind a tree? Like, get the fuck out of here with all that shit. This is an ARPG. Have a nice day. Hit like and subscribe, or unsubscribe, because I'm sure y'all gonna be pissed because I actually shared my fucking what I thought about the game, and it probably doesn't agree with yours, so you're gonna be pissed and call me a piece of shit and unsubscribe. Anyway, love y'all. See you next time.